Well, hey, this is Josh Nelson with the 7-Figure Agency, and I want to welcome you to this training video where we're going to be talking about the key changes you have to make within your digital marketing agency to go from 6 figures to 7 figures and beyond. Here's the reality, and here's a little secret that most people don't realize, and that's the things that got you to 6 figures, the way you operated, the way you landed clients, the way you delivered results, the way that you kind of retained your clients, the things that you did that got you to 6 figures, $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 in any given month, will not get you to 7 figures. As a matter of fact, the activities that you did that worked really well to get to 6 figures, which is just $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 in annualized revenue, will actually prevent you from going to the next level. And so on this video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to unpack the key pivots you have to make in your thinking, in your approach to landing clients that are essential to make the leap. If your goal, if your ambition is to go to 7 figures, right? 7 figures is $1 million digital marketing agency. And you know what? Some of you might think, well, is that valuable? Do I really want to do that? Is that important? I can promise you this. Getting to 7 figures changes the game in your business. It really changes the game in your life because it creates options. It gives you the ability to make more money. Right? And we all want to have more money, the money we need to pay the bills, to have the nice car, to have the nice house, right? To have the money that we need to live our desired lifestyle. But more important than that, getting to 7 figures gives you the ability to have more freedom, right? If you build this correctly, if you put the right systems, the procedure, and the right model in place, you can actually have more freedom, which is what we're all after, right? When you started your agency, it probably wasn't about just making more money. It was probably more about, I want to live on my terms. I want to have the time to do what I want to do. I want to be able to take the travels, maybe to spend the time with the kids. And then third, it will give you a bigger impact, right? I think that's the biggest thing. You know, money is great, and having the money to live desired lifestyle is important, and it's useful, and there's a place for it. The freedom is essential, right? Because we all want to be able to do what we want to do. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is feeling like what we're doing is having an impact. It's helping people, right? And when you build a business to 7 figures, you are having a big impact. You're having an impact on the clients that you serve. You're having an impact on the team that you develop, because I promise you, you can't do it all yourself. So yes, getting to 7 figures changes the game. It creates more money, more freedom, and a bigger impact in your life. So let's talk about the key pivots, right? Let's talk about what most 6-figure agencies do, and probably what you might be doing in your business right now, and the changes that you need to make in order to make the hop to 7 figures and beyond. So here's the first. When it comes to landing clients, right? Most digital marketing agencies at 6 figures had to hustle, right? And the big play is, let's do cold emails, right? A lot of us at 6 figures are reliant on referral-based business, right? Maybe you sit in a BNI meeting and somebody introduces you, but it's very haphazard. It's like I get a client here and there. What a 7-figure business does that's different is, while they might still be doing some cold outreach, while they still probably get some referrals, the reality is there's a shift that happens. And that's a shift from chasing clients down to getting clients to come to you pre-positioned to buy, right? And that happens because 7-figure agencies position themselves as the go-to expert in a very specific type of business, right? If you can shift from chasing every prospect down by yourself to having clients exposed to your value, right? Either they saw you on a webinar, or they read your book, or they've been exposed to your content, or they heard you speak in an event, they start to come to you saying, hey, look, you seem to understand my business. How much is it going to cost, right? And more important than that, it becomes very consistent, right? Over here on the chase mode, you're getting a client randomly. Maybe you have 1 client, 2 clients here and there, and it's not predictable. It's not consistent. But when you put a marketing process in place and your position is the go-to expert, you start to consistently land 3, 5, 7 new retainer-based clients per month. I hope that makes sense, but that's a big pivot that has to make, shifting from reliant on random referrals to consistent inbound sales. The other thing, and that's on lead generation, but on the conversion of opportunities and actually landing clients, most 6-figure agencies very, very wing it sales process, right? I'm sure maybe you can relate to this. Somebody says, hey, I'm interested, and they'll just kind of say, great, let me take them through what I do and ask for the business, right? It's different from one client to the next. And one thing I know for sure is that seven-figure digital marketing agencies have dialed in a sales process, right? They have a flow. It's not a script, but it's a very methodical flow where these are the questions we ask. This is how we kind of demonstrate our value. This is our program and what we offer, and this is how much it's going to cost. And they have a process where they can say, okay, here's what's going to happen on every sales call. The other thing that happens is they track. When you get to seven figures, it's not randomly, okay, maybe you got one client, maybe you got three. You know I'm going to need 20 to 30 strategy sessions per month in order to get 5 to 6 new clients per month. And so we track how many strategy sessions do we get? What was our close ratio? What happened on that sales call? Was it the quality of the prospect that required us not to get the deal, or was it something else, right? So seven-figure agencies have made a pivot from random sales process with no tracking to having a dialed-in sales process with a very consistent flow. And by doing it that way, what you can do is you could train someone to step in and handle your sales calls, right? Because if we want more freedom, in addition to more clients, in addition to more income, we're going to want to remove ourselves from the sales process, right? So from a business development perspective, up here, really, these are the pivots we have to make. From chasing prospects down to having them come to us, from randomly selling prospects to having a dialed-in sales process that's thought through, that's intentional, and has a very consistent outcome. As it relates to the business model, right? As it relates to kind of how you operate your business. At 6 figures, oftentimes we sell to anybody that we can. We do a lot of customized work. So from one client to the next, it's completely custom. What is it that you need? Okay, I can do that. I'll go figure it out. And there's a lot of low ticket services. So like maybe web hosting or random services, and a lot of project work. Project work meaning, hey, give me 15 grand or give me 5 grand, one-time fee or a 50% deposit, but there's no consistency of recurrence of revenue. What almost every seven-figure agency that I know, especially seven-figure agencies that are growing and scaling, have shifted from that to having a very predefined, here's my market, the kind of clients that I want to work with, and they're usually in one particular type of vertical, and a very thought out program, right? Instead of an infinite supply of customized variations, this is my program. I'm going to set up a website. I'm going to get it ranked. I'm going to drive paid traffic to it. And these are the tracking that I'm going to put in place. And this is the result that you can expect, right? Seven-figure agencies are not customizing their programs from one client to the next. They thought out who's my ideal customer, right? What do I need to sell to them that I know is going to generate a tangible, measurable return on investment? And then they've got a mapped out launch process where it's very clear, once I get the client, these are the 7 things we're going to do in the first week, these are the things we're going to do month after month, and it's very consistent, and it can be systematized, and it can be handed off to team, right? This makes you much more compelling because you're in one particular niche, you've got a predefined program, you can actually generate a consistent, measurable result for your client, but it also makes it handoffable, right? We talk about freedom. That's a big part of this whole process, is that you can, because it's systematized, because it's the same from one client to the next, you can put it onto a project management system and you can hand it off to a team member or to a team of people that can go out and fulfill the work for you. So that's a big pivot from a model perspective, a shift from project work to recurring monthly revenue, a shift from random customized projects to very predefined programs, and a shift from low ticket, $97 a month, $50 a month, to higher ticket, $1,000, $1,500 per month into perpetuity. I promise you, the seven-figure agencies that make these pivots, they simplify their business model, but they also accelerate their growth, right? So from a model perspective, these are some of the really, really important things that you need to change, you need to modify. The other thing I think that is really important that 6-figure agencies do that 7-figure agencies don't is a shift from low-end clients to higher-end clients. So when we started our agency, Plumbing and HVAC SEO, we thought, man, we're in this niche of plumbing companies, and Any plumbing company is our client, right? Whether they're a one-man operation or a $10 million a year plumbing business, we can work with all of them. And at the beginning, most agencies, especially in the six-figure phase, are building their business on the lower end, the startups, the one-man operators. And those companies don't tend to have as much financial resources to invest in marketing. They don't tend to be the kind of companies that stick around for the long term because they're in a turbulent phase in their business model. When you can shift to say, look, I work in a niche, but I work with the companies doing $1 million or more in revenue. Those companies have systems, they have procedures, they have longevity. They have things you can plug into that will make what you do even more effective. And almost every seven-figure agency in our program that we work with has made a pivot from working with anybody in their niche to working with the top of the market. And by doing so, they can create consistency and they can actually have like recurring revenue that tends to stick around for the long term, as opposed to getting a client lasting for 2, 3, 4 months max, having relationships that go years and years. A lot of it has to do with client selection and the clients that you choose to work with in your business. As it relates to retention, right? When you start to think about, okay, so I've got to shift the way I get clients. I got to shift the way I sell clients. I got to shift the way that I deliver my model. As it relates to retention, right? One of the most important aspects of a successful digital marketing agency is the ability to get clients and to retain them long term. Most six-figure digital marketing agencies are very reactive. So it's like, okay, I've got a client, I'm going to do the work, and if they contact me, I'll respond, right? And you're hoping that they don't. Don't fool yourself. I know that you're like, man, I hope they don't call, I hope they don't email. And when you're in a reactive state like that, the clients will churn, right? The number one reason any client leaves is perceived indifference. And so what a seven-figure digital marketing agency does is that they set a proactive client relationship strategy in place, which means they're proactively reaching out to the clients on a monthly basis to show with them, hey, here's what we did, here's what we've accomplished, here's what we're going to work on next, here's the vision for what we're going to be working on over the next 30, 60, 90 days. And in doing that, they really improve their retention rates. The other thing that six-figure agencies don't do that seven-figure agencies do, seven-figure agencies map out a world-class experience. Right? They understand that it's not just about the service you provide. It's not just about even the result that you get, because the bottom line is that's what's expected. Right? They're gonna spend $1,500 a month. You're gonna build a website. You're gonna do what it is that you do. You're gonna drive leads and sales. What's not expected is creating an experience on the way that you capture the usernames and the passwords and the details, the way that you welcome them with a bang, maybe by sending a welcome basket in the mail or some type of onboarding experience. Seven-figure business is dialed in a world-class experience, and they've got great client retention strategies that keep their clients with them for the long term. And it makes a massive difference in your ability to grow and scale to seven figures. Now, as it relates to team, this is one of the biggest shifts that six-figure agencies have to make and that you're going to have to make to go to seven figures. Six-figure agencies typically are doing it all themselves, maybe with one or two random freelancers. Right? I got a VA, I'll kind of send them some stuff every now and then, but it's all on you. You're doing the selling, you're doing the prospecting, you're doing the client fulfillment, you're doing the client relationship management, right? And then by doing it that way, balls get dropped. Either you stop prospecting for yourself, right? Which is pretty important because you can't grow if you don't prospect and you don't sell, or you start dropping balls on clients, right? Things you promised you were going to do that just didn't get done, or they didn't get done at a world-class level. What seven-figure agencies do is they develop a team, right? They develop a team of people that can take balls and run with them. I found that most seven-figure agencies have a couple of key roles within their business that they put in place. First is operations management, right? As the owner of a digital marketing agency, your responsibility isn't just to do the work, right? Your responsibility is to set the vision for the company and to land clients and grow the business. And so one of the first things we had to do, and what most seven-figure agencies do, is put somebody in charge of operations so they can go out and land clients and get that work done. The next position most seven-figure agencies fulfill for is account management, putting someone in place to handle the client relationship management, handle those monthly review calls, keep those clients engaged, make sure they understand what you're doing and kind of the value you bring to the table. Really what I think is the key distinction, right? What most six-figure agencies struggle with, right? When they've gotten to six figures and they don't start to make the pivots that I've talked about here, they usually struggle with burnout, right? They're working 40, 60, 70 hours a week, doing everything they can, really not making very much money, really not having a very big impact, and they burn out. It's like, oh man, I'm working too hard and for way too little. They have high churn, right? Because you're so busy trying to do the work while trying to sell, while trying to do everything else to a variety of different clients instead of having one niche and one systematized business model. The clients don't get a great world-class experience and they wind up churning. And what you wind up with is low profit, low revenue, low income in your business. That's what I find that six-figure agencies that don't make the leaps I'm talking about here wind up with. Really, and the agencies that do, the agencies that follow a plan to position themselves as the go-to expert and to build a team and build the right systems and procedures are high leverage. High leverage, meaning it's not all on them, but it's on the systems, it's on the procedures, and it's on the team that they develop. The clients stay long-term, right? The clients stay, get an amazing result, and by doing that, they have a big impact. Big impact on the clients because they're getting great results. Big impact on the team that they develop because they're training a team. That team is making money and developing their skills. And high profit, right? Once you get to seven figures and you've got a system like this where you're knocking out of the park for the clients and they're sticking around with you long term, you're going to have more income for yourself. You're going to have more profit. So these are the key pivots you need to make in order to go from six figures to seven figures. I could go much deeper on this, but if you'd like some help, right? If you're at six figures and you're thinking, man, I'd like to shortcut this process, right? I want to find someone that has implemented this in their business, has helped others implement this in their agencies. That's what we do here at the Seven Figure Agency, right? We're on a mission to help 100 digital marketing agencies go to seven figures over the next 5 years. And so if you're at that six-figure level and you'd like some help bridging the gap in terms of how you attract clients, how you convert clients, how you deliver amazing results, how you retain your clients, and how you scale, I want to offer you what I call an agency acceleration session. And really what that's all about is getting clear on where you're at in your business right now, what your goals are over the next 12 to 24 months, and helping you map out the plan, the key pivots that you actually need to make that will have the biggest impact to help you scale. So if that sounds good, it's completely free. Just fill out the details below here. Kind of let us know about your agency, the kinds of client that you serve, where you're at in your business today, and we'll schedule a time where you can pick a time on the calendar and walk you through this process and walk you through this journey. So hope you got value. Answer your details below if you'd like some additional help and you'd like to kind of one-on-one how to accelerate things and get this all dialed in your agency. Thanks so much for your time. I look forward to talking with you soon.